Alright, mate.
I'm alright, mate.
Let's be honest. Have you ever sat down to watch a British film or series thinking, tonight I'm going to improve my English the fun way?
Oh, yay!
Then 5 minutes later, you're like, what did he just say? Was that even English? Subtitles on. Again. Look, you're not alone. Loads of learners and students struggle to understand English films or series without subtitles. And I get it. Sometimes it happens to me when I'm watching something in Spanish as well, even though my Spanish is pretty damn good.
Hasta la vista, baby.
The fast speech, the slang, these weird accents, and people mumbling and not vocalizing or speaking clearly. It's a minefield. So here are 5 proper useful tips that you can put into practice to hopefully start to understand British English TV shows, films, and series without tearing your hair out. Tip number 1. Don't start with Peaky Blinders.
I order the Peaky Blinders.
Let's start with the obvious one. Some shows are just a little bit too complicated and too hard with such a difficult accent. So let's work our way up first. Shows like Peaky Blinders or Top Boy are really complicated because they include difficult regional accents. They're often mumbling and murmuring and not really speaking clearly, and there's loads of slang. Even native speakers will sometimes need subtitles for these kind of shows. Like when I'm listening to Scottish speakers. Sometimes I've got no idea what they're saying.
This is more accessible, particularly for some of our colleagues who have a disability.
Instead, try these shows as warm-ups to build up your confidence before you tackle a tricky series such as Peaky Blinders. The Great British Bake Off.
Right, okay.
Paddington, the film.
Dear Paddington,
Downton Abbey.
Well, we could always start with Mrs. Crawley and Lady Grantham.
Doc Martin.
Then pull up your trousers and go away.
Afterlife.
Well, all men are awful, but grumpy, selfish ones are the worst.
Tip 2. Train your ears and not just your eyes. Subtitles are helpful, yes, but don't get too addicted. Don't depend on them too much. So here's a 3-step method that I recommend. The first time you watch, use English subtitles, and rather than paying attention to the meanings of the words and phrases, you should try to focus in on the sounds of each phrase and each individual word. The second time, you can remove the subtitles and focus on the tone, the pitch, the rhythm of all of these words and phrases, and by seeing what's going on in the background, you'll start to get the gist, and you'll start to notice how some words and phrases blend and merge together. The third step is to literally just listen to the audio. Close your eyes whilst you're watching a series or a film and see if you can pick up what's going on. And if you didn't quite understand a word or phrase, then try to ask yourself and wonder, what could it mean based on the context? And in many cases, I'm sure you'll be able to fill in the gaps. And this is a great thing we can do by listening to podcasts as well when you're going for a walk, when you're in the gym, when you're driving your car. The list goes on and on. But why does this work? The more you practice, the more you'll notice how lots of questions and sentences will all squash together. For example, do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? Give me a second. Give me a sec. He is going to run away. He's gonna leg it. What are you doing? What you doing? You see, these can sound very different, and this is what makes it so difficult to understand. But as your ear and your hearing gets used to it, it'll get easier and easier. I promise. Tip number 3. Rewatch your faves again and again. You don't have to watch a different show every time. In fact, repetition is key and it can be your biggest ally. So here's how to make the most of it. Choose a show or film that you absolutely adore. Ideally something with casual and everyday dialogue, such as Friends or How I Met Your Mother.
It's Rachel and Joey!
Hey, Barney Stinson.
If you have the patience, watch it multiple times. Every time you watch it, I promise your brain will pick up more, not just individual words. Then say them out loud. And if you can, use them in your everyday speech. But I get it. Not everybody has the patience to watch the same things over and over again. But what you can do is practice with subtitles on, then remove the subtitles, then close your eyes and see if you can still understand what's going on. Tip 4. Shadow the actors like a parrot. Yeah, seriously, like a parrot. It feels weird, but it's powerful, and it really does help to pick up new words and phrases and copy the actor's pronunciation. The concept of shadowing is literally just repeating what you are hearing and trying to say it as similarly as possible to how the actor or actress said it. Think about speed, intonation, word linking, and the attitude. In order for this to work properly, you need to believe that you are an actor as well. Show your emotion when you are repeating exactly what they're saying. Imagine you are in their shoes and you want to impress. You want to do a good job. This works best in particular when you are watching vlogs or stand-up comedy. And the reason for this is because usually you don't have dialogues and you don't have lots of things going on in the background. You can just focus in on what they're saying and try to repeat it and imitate them to the best of your ability.
Want to see the coolest thing I've ever seen in an airplane seat?
You're improving your listening whilst improving your speaking fluency and accent. You are killing 2 birds or more with 1 stone.
I just figured you wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Tip 5. Vocabulary is king. If you have to pick just one thing to focus on to improve your English listening and speaking, I would always go for your knowledge of vocabulary, because the more words you know, the more you're going to understand. It's simple. And when it comes to British English TV shows, series, and films, well, we tend to use a lot of colloquial language and slang. You're struggling because people say things like, "That's mint!" "That's amazing." "I can't be bothered." "I don't feel like it." "What a mug." "What a fool." "He's proper dodgy." "He's suspicious or unreliable." "I'm chuffed to bits." "I'm really happy."
You must be chuffed to bits to be working here.
So what I recommend here is, well, to always have your phone next to you, and whenever you see or notice slang words or phrases or new vocabulary, just take a quick note. You can put it in your notes app, and then you can carry on focusing on the series or the film. And then after you finish watching it, or if you see the same phrase repeated again, just have a quick look on word reference, Google Translate, or ChatGPT, just so you know what it means. For every new word or phrase that you recognize, you're going to understand more and more. And check out my videos teaching British English slang, phrasal verbs, and idioms, of course. Us Brits love using slang. So there you have 5 tips to hopefully start to understand British English shows without subtitles. But don't beat yourself up about it if you can't understand certain people, because there are always going to be some characters that, because of the nature of the character or the series, they don't speak very clearly.
What did he say?
This doesn't happen as much when it comes to podcasts, because usually the people who are speaking have more of a radio voice, let's say. And there's nowhere near as much background noise. And if you really want to understand every single word that's going on, just leave the subtitles on. It's fine. At least the advantage there is, well, you'll maybe remember more of the new vocabulary. And one day, I promise, you'll be ready to take on a film or series without subtitles. And you'll nail it.
You can do it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any other tips, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!